Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from my very own channel Astro Assurance. One of the very important things for us that we look forward to is the Dasha of a benefic, and we fear the Dasha of a malefic planet, a combusted planet, a debilitated planet, or a planet placed in bad doshas, and we worry and we think that maybe we may not get good results from the Dasha of a challenging planet, if I don't want to call it a malefic, whereas we expect more from a benefic planet. However, it is not always that a malefic planet gives us really tough time, and it is not always that a benefic planet gives us great results always. Now, how do we see before the Dasha is upon us, or a few months into the Dasha, or when the Dasha is not giving us the results that we expect? How do we check how the Dasha is going to actually manifest? So, I am going to give you, this is not just a part of the quick and easy way to check results, but in fact I will call it the superbly quick and easy way to, or extremely quick and easy way to check results of how the Dasha can be supportive to you or not. So, whereas a Dasha needs a deep down analysis to check which is the nakshatra which is activated, which are the other planetary forces which are activated, which are the yogas which are activated, whether there are doshas functioning, whether there are any transits over it. So, there are a number of factors which go into actually ascertaining whether a Dasha is going to be a good Dasha, challenging Dasha, which part of the Dasha is going to be a good Dasha, which Antar Dasha is going to be a more challenging one, which is going to be a more benefic one, and so on. So, a very deep down analysis is needed, because usually Dasha periods are 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, 17, 18, 16 years, 20 years and so on. So, the Dasha period is a long period. So, to bucket a Dasha as the entire Dasha is going to be a good or a bad one is not a right way, it is an erroneous way to look at it. So, there will always be, in any Dasha of any planet, there will always be parts of a Dasha which will be very good result oriented, some of it will be challenging results oriented, some of it could be more challenges. So, there is always a need to be more careful in doing the analysis or reaching a conclusion where a Dasha is concerned. Whereas at an Antar Dasha level, it's still easy to check whether results are going to go north or south. So, how do we do, or how do we check through a very quick and easy way whether the Dasha is going to be, the Dasha is going to give us good results or not? Firstly, whenever you have had good times in your life, before that next Dasha is upon you, so check which was the Dasha or the Antar Dasha when you had good results. So, if you check that there is one Antar Dasha which is commonly figuring in getting good results. So, say for example, you have gone through Ketu moon and it has given you good results. Then you have gone through Venus moon, it has given you good results. And then you have gone through Sun moon, it has given you good results. For example, I am just throwing up Dashas as an example. Then you can see that the moon Antar Dasha is a common factor in getting good results. So, which means when the moon Dasha will be upon you, generally you can expect to get good results. So, check on the good times in life whenever you had your some clicks or some rises, and check on those times which were challenging ones. So, that is one easy way, the easiest way to know whether a certain Dasha can be a good one or not one. If its Antar Dashas before in the earlier Dashas were good ones, challenging ones, or neutral ones. So, in the Dasha of, say for example, moon, Antar Dasha of moon, if you had got more neutral results, then when the Dasha of moon is upon you, after this Dasha is sun, if you are in the Dasha of sun and you are expecting the Dasha of moon to be upon you, and if the Antar Dashas of moon earlier were always bringing you good results, then you can expect the Dasha of moon, the Mahadasha of moon to give you good results. But if the Antar Dasha of moon were always 3 or 4 things happen which were challenging ones. So, to some extent, not the entire Dasha of moon is going to be challenging, but some results of the moon Dasha will definitely, the moon Mahadasha will definitely be challenging. However, if the moon Antar Dashas earlier were more neutral, then in the moon Dasha also you may get mixed results, or more or less it may be neutral. Not too many ups and downs can be had. Second, if you are at 3 or 4 months into the dasha and you are not seeing any effects of a benefit, planets good gains even in the 3, 4, 5 months, and it's almost like status quo of the last dasha. And if the last dasha was for malefic and you are 3 or 4 months into the dasha of a benefic, yet you are not getting good results, then you get a little wary. Why I'm 3 months, 4 months, 5 months into the dasha, why are good results not coming in? Then it is important to check on the alternate lagnas. What are the alternate lagnas? The alternate lagnas are, one is to check the dasha or convert the lagna into the lagna of the dasha planet. For example, if you are an Aries ascendant native and Mars is in Capricorn in the 10th house. So now Mars in Capricorn, Mars shows exalted. So you may assume that when the Mars dasha will be upon you, you will get excellent results and career will do very well. But 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months into the dasha, career is not showing you great results. Then you get a little apprehensive that I expected that I will rise, there will be a rocket launcher on which I am going to sit and my career is going to zoom, but nothing is happening. Then do this, because Mars is placed into Capricorn, convert your lagna into a Capricorn lagna and then see. Now what happens when you convert the lagna into Capricorn lagna? Mars goes into the lagna, but now into the Capricorn lagna, which houses does Mars rule? Mars now rules the 11th house of Scorpio and rules the 4th house of Aries, right, for a Capricorn ascendant native. So which means that the results of the 11th house and the 4th house will be more upon you if you convert that into a Capricorn lagna, because Mars is placed in Capricorn. But now Mars rules the 11th house of Scorpio, which means it is an Upachya house Mars rules. And even in the Aries lagna, Mars being in Capricorn, Capricorn is the 10th house, which is an Upachya house. So that means 2 Upachya houses are now activated. An Upachya house gives you results late and you have to work hard to manifest the results. Second, when you convert the lagna into Capricorn lagna, Mars rules the 4th house. Now 4th house has aspects of property also. You were expecting better results of career, but now when you convert it into the dasha lagna, now the dasha lagna is pointing towards property, vehicles, family life, family acquisitions, acquisition of more conveniences. So check on whether you can get more results or better results from property. So for example, during when the dasha of Mars starts, now you are starting to get your spouse telling you, I am looking at that property, or somebody is from your friend circle is contacting you and saying that I bought some land, do you want to see that land? Or somebody is sending you some message at random saying there is the new property, new venture coming up, would you be interested? Or your father telling you, why don't you buy a property, you have only one house, why, it's a time. So if there are 3 or 4 things which are coming as a trend to you, regularly coming up, so the dasha is throwing signals at you and telling you which direction you need to move, where the results will come first from. So when you convert the lagna into the dasha lagna will tell you where the results can manifest more. So validate your ascendant, your actual ascendant, with the dasha lagna to check whether there are any overlaps, and check whether you are getting any signals. The zodiac always gives you signals that this is the result that you will get for. Third, for example, Mars is also a planet which transits quickly. So 10 to 15 days before the last transit happens and the next transit happens, that becomes a cusp period. So that 1 week to 10 days results of either house that Mars transits can come. So Mars is transiting, say for example, from your 5th house when the dasha of Mars starts, then the 5th house results are more forthcoming. Then after roughly about 30-40 days or 2 months, taking into account the cusp 10 days either side, Mars gets into the 6th house. So now if property is activated, because Mars is in the Capricorn lagna, after converting the lagna into dasha lagna, then if Mars is transiting to the 5th house, then it is a time for speculation. It is the time also to take some risks into some property, which can be a slightly risky affair. Maybe you need to be careful during that time whether you really want to put in your hands into a property at that time. But if Mars is transiting through the 6th house, then the acquisition of property is coming through loans, bank loans. Mars is transiting after 2 months from the 7th house, then here property can be acquired by involving your partner or your spouse or in the name of spouse. If Mars then transits through the 8th house, then in a shared property or through a legacy or through an inheritance. Another 2 months Mars is now traveling through the 9th house, then involving father or investing along with father or investing in the direction where the father is suggesting. So every 2 months the manifestation also keeps on changing. So if Mars is translating through the 8th house, 9th house, 10th house, and you're hell-bent only acquiring money only from the bank, the 6th house, and the 6th house has a malefic, then you don't get results. So you have to look at the slightly finer aspects also to check still at the 70,000 feet level whether you will get results of better results of that particular dasha and where you will get the results from. The other way to look at it is that where are maximum of planets placed in the horoscope. Say for example, the maximum of planets are placed in the 11th house in Aquarius. Then also see, convert the lagna into an Aquarius lagna. Now Mars is going into the 12th house because of it being placed in Capricorn in the 12th house, because maximum of your planets are in the Aquarius sign, and when you convert it into an Aquarius lagna, then you will find that Mars gets into the 12th house. So maybe foreign lands are activated, foreign acquisitions are activated, or going to foreign lands, or working in an MNC, or changing your job into and trying for an MNC company activated. So you can look at 2 or 3 different ways. Look at the ascendant and look at where the planet is placed in your main lagna. Validate it from your dasha lagna. If you are getting results and you are seeing overlap, fine. If not, check whichever house has the maximum planets. But take the house which has at least 3 planets or more. If you have 2 planets in that house, it is definitely not a house with many planets, because usually 2 planets in a house is very, very common. If you have 3 or more planets in any house, then convert the lagna to that house and then see what kind of results you may get. So after validating from these 2 or 3 ways, then you can be more sure. However, the best thing, as I said at the start, is to check whether the antardasha of that planet earlier has given you good results, challenging results, and where the results are maximum coming from. So those kind of things can also be activated. The other thing is simple. Check on whether more benefics are involved, more malefics are involved. If more benefics are involved, then obviously there will be better results in the dasha of that planet. If more malefics are involved, there will going to be ups and downs. Check on which houses the dasha lord rules. So those things will definitely get activated. Aspects will also get activated, and yogas will also get activated. But the simple and easy way, quick and easy way to check whether the dasha will give you good results or not is to check antardasha, the dasha lagna, more planets in the house. Check that. That will more or less tell you whether a dasha will give you good results or not, and which area of life, which side of life, or which avenue of life it will give you better results, and whether the results will come early or will come late. Especially if the 3rd house or the 11th house gets involved, then the results will come only with your effort and with time, and not within the first few months, maybe within a year or 2 of the dasha getting activated. So friends, check in your own dasha lords, each one of us in some or the other dasha, and see what kind of results you may be manifesting. If you are going through a dasha and the dasha is giving you some signals based on whether it is going through like a tough one or challenging one or neutral one, you can check whether the early antardashas what kind of results you got from it, and you can assume to a large extent that in this dasha in the coming days those results or results in those direction will manifest. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation, reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.